guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor and I share these What's for Dinner videos every Sunday to hopefully share some new meal ideas with you and to give you some motivation to cook more for your family. I've got a couple new recipes to share with you in today's video, as well as a dessert recipe at the very end, so stay tuned for that. Now let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Okay, tonight for dinner we are having enchiladas. That is what my sister picked for her birthday dinner. And I'm going to do some chicken enchiladas and some beef enchiladas. So in here in the crock pot, I've got my chicken. I've added some taco seasoning and about 3/4 of a 10 ounce, is this 10 ounce? Yes, a 10 ounce jar of enchilada sauce. I am going to save the rest of this jar and add it to the ground beef after I cook that. And then I've got a whole, like a big can of enchilada sauce for when I actually put the enchiladas together later. But I've got this in here and I'm just gonna let it cook all day on low, and then we'll shred it up for enchiladas later. Okay, so it's lunchtime. You can probably hear the microwave in the background, but I'm going ahead and cooking up the ground beef. That'll be for our beef enchiladas. I've just got some taco seasoning in here, and then I will drain off any excess grease and stir in that other 1/4 cup of enchilada sauce, and then just put this in the fridge until this evening when I want to assemble our enchiladas. Okay, this chicken has been cooking, I think about 6 hours now on low. It's 5 o'clock here. I'm going to use this little thing to shred the chicken, and sadly I had to cancel dinner for tonight. Like, my sister and uncle and brother are not coming because better to be safe than sorry when people aren't feeling exactly well. So we canceled it for now, and I've got all this food. So I'm probably going to end up freezing most of this chicken. I'm still going to make some of each, the chicken and the beef enchiladas. But I'm going to end up freezing a lot of this chicken that's left over, and then we'll use it for quesadillas and whatnot. So it's sad, but as I said, we don't want to spread anything around, so we canceled dinner, but still gonna have enchiladas. Still gonna be delicious, just that I don't get to spend dinner with my family tonight. So I'm gonna finish shredding this up and fry up some tortillas and then assemble the enchiladas. Okay, and here are the kids' plates. They each started off with one enchilada, and then I think they each had another half of one. I forgot to film my plate because I actually wasn't hungry when the food was ready. And I just kept it simple, and we just had this with some chips and salsa and some guacamole. My plan was to make like beans and rice when everybody was coming, but when I found out that we weren't going to be able to do a dinner with everybody, I just went to like minimal sides and minimal effort. So that was our dinner for Friday. Okay, it is Saturday night, and tonight for dinner we are going to have some bacon cheeseburgers and some corn on the cob in the air fryer. I have shared how I do my corn on the cob in the air fryer before, but I thought I would do it again. So I've got it all clean, and I've got it on some foil on my air fryer basket, and I'm just going to drizzle it with some olive oil and kind of roll it around to coat it. And then I'm going to put on the seasoning of choice. Tonight I am deciding to use some 𝘬𝘗𝘦𝘴. Sometimes I just do salt and pepper. It's really whatever you want. Sometimes I do Tony's. Just whatever seasoning you want. And then this is going to go in the air fryer on like 375 for like 10 to 15 minutes. So just kind of got to watch it. And you can flip it over halfway through. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, sometimes I forget. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. And it tastes really good, like it's grilled. Super easy, and it tastes delicious. It's like my favorite way to make corn. Haven't really been cooking on the grill that much this year, just because it's too dang hot. And I can make food that tastes, I feel like, just as good inside between my cast iron pan and my air fryer. So that's why I haven't really been cooking on the grill this year. Don't feel like standing in the hot sun, even if the food does taste good. So I'm gonna get these in there in the air fryer, and then we'll start on our burgers. Okay, in this bowl I have about 1.25 pounds of ground beef. And to that, I'm going to add some of this seasoning that's from Wisconsin. I will leave the link to their website down below. I'm going to add some of this and just a little bit of pepper and salt, and just mix that all together and patty them out. And then I already cooked up some bacon in the oven. I'm going to use a little bit of that bacon grease to cook these in my cast iron pan. Okay, here is the finished dinner. I had these pretzel buns from Aldi for our burgers tonight, and I just kept it simple. Just got some cheddar cheese on there, and then the bacon, and then some, you can't really see it, ketchup and mustard on top. Just wanted to keep it really simple. And then we've got our corn, and Elijah and I have some Claussen pickles, and Lily has some grape tomatoes. But that is going to be our dinner for Saturday. It is Sunday night, and tonight for dinner we are doing some sheet pan chicken thighs and potatoes. I'm doing them on separate sheet pans though, because I had quite a few chicken thighs. So I am going to drizzle them on both sides with a little bit of olive oil and spread that out with a little brush. And then I've got some paprika, some garlic powder, some onion powder, some pepper, and some Tony's Creole seasoning that I'm going to put on this. And then I'm going to do the same thing with some potatoes. I'm going to chop them up and then use the same seasonings on them and just get them on this other sheet pan that I have over here. And I'm going to season this chicken on both sides. And the chicken will cook for probably about 30 minutes. And the potatoes will probably take just a little bit longer. But yeah, it's going to be super easy. And then I'm going to make a can of green beans to go with it. Okay, here is everything done. As I said, I made a can of green beans. I just seasoned those the way that I always do. Some chicken bouillon, butter, garlic, some 𝘵𝘠𝘦𝘴 complete. And then I had some ketchup and hot sauce on the table for this. The hot sauce was great on the chicken. This whole meal was great and easy to put together. It is Monday night, and tonight for dinner we are doing a family favorite, which is spaghetti. Have this about every week or two. So we've just got some meat sauce. This is just some ground beef. Seasoned it with some minced garlic, some onion powder, and some Italian seasoning. And then I added our favorite marinara sauce from Aldi. We've just got it on some angel hair pasta this time. So that's Lily's plate, Elijah's plate, and my plate. And then we've got some salads. This is mine. Got some Italian like lettuce and some arugula and spinach. And then some croutons, cucumbers, tomatoes, ranch dressing, and everything but the bagel seasoning. Elijah's is pretty much the same, just no tomatoes, and he has some carrots on the side. And then since Lily doesn't like lettuce, she's got some cucumbers, carrots, croutons, and tomatoes. That is going to be our dinner for Monday night. Okay, it is Tuesday night, and tonight for dinner we are having Domino's pizza. I was going to make shrimp and grits. I didn't really want to make it, but I was going to make it. And then I realized I forgot to take out bacon, which you have to have bacon on your shrimp and grits. So pizza it is. We ordered Domino's, as I said. We got one pizza for free. This is a handmade pan pizza with the garlic parmesan sauce, some bacon, and feta. And I would have done ham, but they were out of ham. And then we've got a regular hand-tossed pizza with pepperoni, extra cheese, and cheddar cheese. And then Andy's crunchy thin with the Alfredo sauce, the Philly steak, and tomatoes. And these are like the same pizzas we ordered last time. If you watch my What's for Dinner, you know that. And a couple of y'all actually mentioned that you tried this pizza specifically and that you liked it. It's really good. Obviously these are like our favorites because when we order pizza, this is what we get. But that's going to be our dinner for Tuesday. Okay, Wednesday night I did make the shrimp and grits, and I've actually shared this recipe step by step at least 2 times, so I will have one of those videos linked down below for y'all. It's super simple and easy and so delicious. I cannot believe that I had never tried shrimp and grits until the past year. I was missing out, because this is definitely like a staple now in our house. Okay, it is Thursday night, and tonight for dinner we are going to be trying a creamy broccoli cheddar rice. It's like a one-pot meal, and then I'm gonna make my cheddar crusted chicken to go with it. So I'm gonna start on the rice first, because the chicken only takes like 15 to 20 minutes, and the rice will take about that long once I actually get the rice in there. So once I get the rice going, then I'll get the chicken in the oven. So here I have some onion that I diced up. It's about half an onion. I've got some garlic that I minced up, and I'm currently heating up 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And when that gets hot, I'm going to cook my onion for a few minutes to get it tender, and then add in my garlic for about a minute. And then I'm making 2 cups of chicken broth. I've just got 2 cups of warm water with 2 teaspoons of the Knorr chicken bouillon. And so once I get that in there, I'm gonna bring it to a boil, and then I will rinse 1 cup of rice to go in there once it comes to a boil. And while all that's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and steam this broccoli in the microwave. The recipe does not say to do this, but I don't feel like the broccoli is going to get as tender as we like our broccoli if I wait to add it in. When they say to add it in, I don't think we're gonna get it as tender as we like it. So I'm gonna steam this in the microwave for like 2 to 3 minutes. I've already gone ahead and added a little bit of water in there, and then we've got some chopped broccoli, and I think you can put like plastic wrap over the top of it, but I have this little silicone lid, so I'm gonna put this silicone lid over the top and just microwave it for 2 to 3 minutes. Like I said, probably 2.5 minutes, so it can already like start cooking. That way it can be a little bit tender when I add it into the rice later. So I'm gonna go ahead, steam that, and get my onion and garlic cooking over here in this oil that is getting hot. Okay, my onion and garlic were done, and now I've added in my 2 cups of chicken broth. I've got this over a medium-high heat, and I'm just gonna bring this to a boil now. Okay, this has come to a boil, so now I'm going to add in my 1 cup of rinsed rice. I'm gonna stir that and then reduce the heat to a low, cover this, and let it simmer for probably about 15 minutes until most of this liquid has been absorbed. Okay, now for the chicken. I have shared this chicken many times. If you have been on my channel for a while, you have seen it. It has its own video, which will be linked down below. It's called Cheddar Crusted Chicken. I've gone ahead and preheated my oven to 425, and I have also cut my chicken breasts. So this was just 2 breasts, and I sliced them in half horizontally to make them thin. That way they cook faster. This will only take 15 to 20 minutes when you have the breasts cut thin like this. I'm gonna go ahead and season them all over. Today I'm gonna use some garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. You can really do whatever you want. I've used Tony's Creole seasoning. I've used 𝘵𝘬𝑒 Complete. I've just used salt and pepper. It's really whatever you want to use on it, whatever kind of flavor you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that all over on both sides. Okay, now I've got some sour cream, and I'm going to take about a tablespoon of sour cream and place it on top of each chicken breast, and then I will take a brush and brush it all over the top of it. Now in this bowl, I'm going to combine about a cup of cheese. I'm going to do some cheddar and half a cup of breadcrumbs, some kind of crumbs. Usually I will do panko breadcrumbs, but tonight I'm doing some crushed up tortilla chips. I love to just use like the crumbs of random things just to use up the last remnants of various random things. Like I've done Cheez-Its, I've done these other kind of like cheese crackers. I've done chips before. I don't know that I've ever done tortilla chips for this specific recipe, but that is what we were using tonight. I've already crushed them up so they're pretty small in here, and so we're just going to use, I think this might be a little bit more than half of a cup. I'm just going to throw it all in there along with some cheese, mix it up really well, and then that's going to get spread over the top of the chicken. And then, as I said, this is going in a oven at 425 for 15 to 20 minutes until the chicken reaches the proper temperature. Okay, it has been 15 minutes. I'm about to take the lid off of here. As you can see, most of the liquid has been absorbed. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of butter, 1/3 cup of milk, and some salt and pepper. Stir that around, and then I'm going to let it simmer for another 3 more minutes. Okay, it's been about 3 more minutes, and now I'm going to add in my broccoli. I did steam it for 2.5 minutes, so it's a little bit tender. There's a little bit of water in the bottom of this bowl, so I'm not going to add that. I'm just going to add the broccoli. And then I'm going to stir this around and let it continue to cook for about 4 minutes till my broccoli is done and my rice is done. My broccoli is pretty tender now and my rice is done. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the heat. I'm gonna add in a cup of cheddar cheese and just let this sit with the lid on it until my chicken is done. My chicken's got about 5 more minutes. So the cheese will melt in that time and then we will be ready to eat. Okay, and here is the finished dinner. The chicken was really good with the tortilla chips. I will definitely do that again. We really liked it. And the rice turned out great. We all loved it. It was absolutely delicious and so easy to make with one pan. Definitely a favorite. Okay, finally, it is time for dessert. So this is a strawberry tres leches cake. I hope I'm saying that right. I found the recipe for it on TikTok, and I was making this for my sister's birthday, but as I told y'all at the beginning, we unfortunately didn't get together because we didn't want anybody to spread any germs around because some of us weren't feeling very well. So I'm just gonna have to make it again, and it was good, so I will definitely make it again. So to start off, I am just greasing a disposable cake pan. It's a 9x13. I'm using my cake goop, which is like flour and vegetable oil, and I think that's it. I will leave the recipe for that down below. I think it's Crisco too, but that'll be down below. And every time I use it, like, cakes come out of the pan like super well. So I greased my pan with that, and then I made a box of strawberry cake mix according to the box directions. So I just mixed all that together, 3 eggs, like I think 1/4 cup of oil, and then some water, and then I just beat that together really well and got that in my cake pan and baked it for 28 minutes, which is what the box said. But you're just going to want to follow the box directions for whatever strawberry cake you get. Once my cake was done, I let it cool completely, and while it was cooling, I mixed together our milk mixture, and I did this in the blender so that I could mix it really well. So the recipe that I was following, as I said, was on TikTok, and it wasn't super clear. She said she added sweetened condensed milk, a can of evaporated milk, 8 ounces of strawberry yogurt, and some milk. And she didn't give any measurements for the milk, so I was just guessing, and I did like 1 container of like the strawberry yogurt, like filled up with milk, and it ended up being too much liquid, I believe, because the cake ended up being a little bit too wet, I believe. It was really good, but it just didn't hold together as well as it looked like hers did. So I think I didn't need to add the regular milk. So when I make it again, all I'm going to add is 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 can of evaporated milk, and 1 8-ounce container of strawberry yogurt. Just completely leave out the regular milk. Once my cake was cooled, I took a butter knife and just went around the edge of the cake to make sure it had pulled away from the sides, and because I used that cake goop, it pulled away nicely. And then I took a fork and stabbed the cake all over to make some holes for our milk mixture to sink into. And then once I had a bunch of holes poked into it, I poured that milk mixture all over top. I covered this and then refrigerated it overnight for at least 12 hours. The next day I made some whipped cream to top the cake with, so I put in a pint of heavy whipping cream, a splash of vanilla, and 3 tablespoons of sugar, and I just beat that on high until it was nice and thick and fluffy. Then I took that whipped cream mixture and spread it all over the top of the cake. And finally, for probably the best part of the cake, it's this crumb topping that is supposed to be like the crumbs on the outside of the strawberry shortcake ice cream bars. On the TikTok, she crushed up the cookies in a Ziploc bag, but I chose to use my food processor to make it a little bit easier. So I added 20 golden Oreos to there and just pulsed them until they were kind of chunky, not too fine. And then I added in a 3-ounce package of strawberry jello and a 1/4 cup of melted butter, and then I blended that again to get everything nice and coated well, and then that got sprinkled all over the top of the cake. This cake was seriously so good. I cannot wait to make it again for my family when we're able to get back together for my sister's birthday. I'm just gonna tweak it with that one adjustment that I said. I'll use a little less milk so that it's not too wet, but it had such great flavor. It really did taste like a strawberry shortcake ice cream bar. The coating on the top was really like perfect. And yeah, I would definitely recommend trying this. I will have the TikTok that I found it from linked down below, so you guys can go check that out. That's going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you liked seeing some dinner ideas as well as one dessert recipe. It's not something that I typically share in a What's for Dinner often. I usually save desserts for a completely separate video, but I wanted to get this out there to y'all because it was really that good. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!